This is the Mindful Witchery podcast with your hosts, Lori Allen and Sarah Frye, just two New England ladies talking about everything. Take a deep dive with the ladies into the world of New England witchery, travel, adventure, and a little bit of everything in between. You can now find the Mindful Witchery podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon.
They're right outside.
What are you guys doing?
Wow. Oh. Yeah, that's true. Alright, it's recording. We can start whenever.
Okay. Hello, guys. We are currently celebrating Samhain together, Sarah and I, and we thought we would take you through some of the things that we're doing. We're taking pictures and we'll post those before the episode comes out, so it'll be fun. Samhain is a time of change, and it's a time to honor the dead as well as a time to reflect on your year and also to reflect on what is to come. So we have a lot of different things out here right now. We have our sage wands, we have our Palo Santo, we have our crystals. I have a beautiful rose quartz and an amethyst for love and for protection. And I also have my tarot deck, which is called the Good Tarot. And I drew the card for love, which is so nice. So we're going to take you through some of the things that we're going to do. We're going to do a letting go ceremony. We're going to read some tarot. And we are going to burn some sage. And we're going to just kind of let you know and walk you through what we're doing right now. What should we do first, Sarah?
Hey guys, I'm basically choking on smoke right now. I'm trying not to cough while Lori's talking.
I'm burning Palo Santo. She's burning sage.
I got this sage going. I'm like trying not to cough.
And guys, it's so crazy because the fire department is outside my house right now. Because somebody had a furnace explode. One of the neighbors' furnaces exploded. So the fire department is literally outside right now. So if we actually need somebody because the sage or the Palo Santo gets out of control, then we got them here right now.
In this sage, I don't know what kind of sage. I grew in a garden like a couple years ago, but it smells like weed. Mm-hmm. So maybe, it's Massachusetts.
Absolutely. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine.
Absolutely. And Palo Santo is doing its thing. It's smelling like Palo Santo.
I love it.
And it's funny because my kids do not love this smell at all. And what we're doing here, guys, is we are just basically cleansing. Mm-hmm. That's what Palo Santo is for. That's what sage is for, is to cleanse the environment that you're in, to give positive energy to wherever you are at that time. You can sage property. You can sage around the corners of your house. You can sage. A lot of times I sage after certain people visit my house.
Yes. I sage my computer.
Yes.
Like once a week or every couple of days, I actually... Before I start schoolwork, I sage my computer, I sage my desk, I sage my house. I cannot sage when Carson's home. He's highly allergic to like smoke and like Palo Santo, so I do it when he's not home.
My kids hate the smell of Palo Santo. They don't mind sage, but they really hate Palo Santo.
Most guys I've ever met do not like Palo Santo. I don't know what it is.
And I have some cedar here too. Guys, you don't just have to do sage or Palo Santo. There's cedar. There's mugwort.
Yes. Yeah, I don't like that smell as much.
No, I don't either. But there's all kinds of different bundles, and you can make your own. You can grow your own sage. Right now, I'm working on that. I'm drying some right now with some lavender. So whatever suits you best, whatever resonates with you, works. So
mine's cedar. Mm-hmm. Mine's always been cedar. Cedar's been my girl.
Cedar's your friend.
That's the one I work with.
I love Palo Santo. That's my girl. And that's kind of who I am, but only outside the house, because inside the house, I'm sneaking it right now, guys. Yeah. We're in my house and I'm sneaking it. The boys will be downstairs in a minute going, "What's that smell?
You might hear them in the background.
Are you burning Palo Santo again?" Yes. So we're burning our sage to cleanse.
Yes.
And we're burning our sage. And we also have with us, speaking of plants, I guess we can go ahead and talk about these.
Yeah.
A very magical, powerful plant is bay leaf. And it also smells really good, and you can cook with it. Yeah. So it's great. Just don't eat it.
No. You don't want, unless you do. But.
My mom used to make soup, and whoever got the bay leaf, she would say was the lucky one. Oh. Like, no, you're not lucky getting a bay leaf. That's gross.
Especially when you don't realize you're biting into it.
So we're doing a ceremony with this, guys. We talked a little bit in the earlier episode about letting go of things that don't serve us or lead to our highest and best. things that weigh us down, people that weigh us down. And what Sarah and I are going to do is we're going to take bay leaves and we're going to write down with magic marker on each bay leaf things that we want to say goodbye to, things we want to let go of. And then we are going to burn them in our little bitty cauldrons. And guys, I'm telling you, if you don't have a cauldron, you really need one. I used to think, oh, I can do all this in an abalone shell, which is fine. But I'm telling you, you need a cauldron. It's all about effect and intent, and you just need. Mine is all nice and seasoned and black.
I love yours. These are super cute.
It's so cute, and I have a bigger one, but Mr. Buckets over there has it.
Mr. Bucket's full of candy.
I'll have to show you Mr. Buckets sometime,
guys.
He's
so cute.
He's a skeleton. He's a posable skeleton, and he's adorable, and he's mine, and I love him.
He's part of our ritual too.
Yes, he's a mascot. So we're going to take a moment to write down on our bay leaves things that we want to let go of in this new Samhain New Year.
I'm so excited.
Yes,
and,
me too.
And like we usually, like I always celebrate this alone. I think I said this in the Samhain episode.
Yes.
And it's so nice to do it with somebody where that actually like has the intention to, similar to me. Like honestly, I usually like sneak off in the middle of the woods with my little cauldron, if anybody's ever seen me, probably like, oh my god, there's like a witch in the woods. Like I have my little cauldron sitting there probably with like blankets on.
Yes.
And my little fire in the middle of the woods, and I usually just sit there and meditate. And then I usually freeze my ass off and run home.
That's what we're doing, guys. We are doing it out in the open. So we're writing things down now on our little bay leaves.
And it could be people, it
Yep.
could be places, situations.
Yes.
Even.
Anything that's weighing you down, anything it's not allowing you to take the path that you need to take.
I'm going to write on the back of mine too. Because what I'm doing is I'm putting names and words and maybe some symbols that are attached to it that I'm just ready to let go of.
And I'm dipping my bay leaves into our red candle, which is a symbol for love. They like to pop. You hear that, guys? It's popping on my candle.
Some ASMR.
This is Witchy Wellness, folks. Wellness 101. So important. Crackle, crackle, pop, pop. All going away. All those things that weigh us down. All those things that keep us from being our highest and best. All those things that keep us from having confidence in our abilities and ourselves. Ooh, goodness.
I'm ready for this. I'm going to try to get close to the mic so you can hear this.
Goodness gracious. And like I said, fire department's right outside, so
Yeah, we're good.
they're burning. They're going.
And for me, the way I interpret energy is I use words a lot. So when I'm burning this, I usually like say in my head or out loud, like, I release this. I don't want this anymore. Get the hell out. Sometimes I have to be aggressive, especially if the situation was a little more aggressive.
Oh, that smells so nice, though. Bay leaf smells really nice when you burn it. It's popping and it's cracking, and that's its way of kind of arguing with you, I guess. Bye-bye to those who do not serve us, who do not serve our highest and best, and lead us in a positive way. Bye to those ideas, those old thoughts, those old ideas, things that hold us back. You should see this, guys.
Your kids are going to come downstairs.
Mom has finally lost it.
You should lost it with somebody else. We ended up in the same cuckoo cult.
Yes. Well, we always said that if we hadn't married the men we married, that we would have met probably in Arizona somewhere or Oregon.
Yep.
In some kind of cult that worships camels or something.
You know, and I wonder, like, I'm almost thinking, like, because some of these are harder to burn than others.
Or some harder to...
Yeah. I started one and it wouldn't burn, so now I'm doing this one. So I'll tell you a couple, one of the ones that I am burning that I know isn't a huge secret is that I have had many years of health issues with Lyme disease. And this year has really shown me how much stronger I am than
you thought.
Than I thought, and how much stronger my body is and what it's capable of. And I'm just ready to let go of that past unhealthy body and move forward.
Yes.
With that. Because I'm over it. Gets pretty boring.
And one of mine, guys, I'll share one of mine with you. One of them was lack of belief in myself. I have to really focus on moving forward now and moving forward with my life, my career, my whole living. I have to move forward with it. And one of the things I'm doing is getting rid of the lack of belief that anything is possible. And I think that I have to give hands to Sarah for helping me realize that.
Oh, I couldn't do without you. I think us meeting was just some weird, like, whoever's in charge up there or here, or just like, why haven't you guys met yet? And
yes.
It's kind of like, it's like, oh, this needs to happen.
And then it happened. Yes. Our paths
We kept
crossed.
missing. That'd be funny if we just kept missing each other.
Yeah.
Because we're so, like, all over the damn place.
Mm-hmm.
We should have met, like, years ago. And
Yes, we should have.
My lighter's just like, why?
Mine are burning pretty well. They're all black now.
Ooh.
We got some that are ash.
I'm struggling with this one. This was the big one.
Burning away, burning away. So if you guys want to try this, if you have bay leaves at home, or if you just want to do it with paper, that's okay too. Bay leaves just added the scent and added kind of the intent. But if you want to do this with a piece of paper, and there's other ways to do it too. I'll do this while Sarah's struggling with her life. If you want to do this with paper, if you want to do this with a piece of paper and write down the thing that you want to say goodbye to, and you want to freeze it in the freezer,
yes,
that's okay too. If you want to take a pair of scissors and cut it up instead of burn it. I like fire, so
yeah, I'm all about that.
This is a good excuse to use fire.
This person just does not want to leave my life. You just need to go.
Isn't that funny how some of them you struggle with? Some of them burn right away and some you struggle with.
It's
crazy.
This was the big one.
So if you want to do this, you find your material that resonates with you, and you find
a way. Some water.
Yeah, sure. Water.
I've done it in water.
Mm-hmm.
I write whatever down, just let it float down the river, which we're lucky to have in New England.
Absolutely. So any way that you choose to symbolize and intend upon getting rid of things that don't serve you any longer, people, things, circumstances, relationships, any of that, you find your own way of doing it. We're doing it with our bay leaf and our cauldron. You can do it with a little bit of water. You can do it with paper. Just tear up the paper. You can do it any way you like.
Like, what I'm saying to myself in my brain right now is, I thank you for what you gave to me and the lessons you taught me and the fun we had. But I am moving forward.
I'm going to laugh so hard if my smoke alarm goes off right now.
God,
that's pretty funny.
This one just doesn't want to burn.
Oh, now we've got a good burn here.
Oh, yeah, bye.
Fire, fire.
Bye.
Fire. Oh, now it's going. She got the hint.
Yeah, she got the hint.
He got the hint. She got the hint.
Things I want to say right now. Bye, bitch. It's not very witchy of me, but
and the thing is, and when you're saying goodbye, you can give it up. I've forgiven you, but I don't have to have a relationship with you anymore. I'm letting go. Oh, mine's catching real fire here. This is good.
Oh my god! Can I use your lighter?
Sure.
Whenever you get. Oh, you have a little cover.
Yes, I have a little cover for my little.
We'll bring these ones together.
Oh wow!
Wow, look at that lighter.
It's like a like a torch. I live with men who camp. Oh, that's nice. Oh, look at that. Guys, I wish you could see this. I need to take a picture of it because it is just, the negative energy is just flowing away.
Oh my god. They don't want to leave.
My grandpa always said that smoke follows beauty.
Hell yeah.
So there you go.
You know,
hell
that's
yeah,
the thing
Sarah.
too. Like, I couldn't do this without laughing. Like, I feel like some witches, which is fine. There's certain situations that are more serious. But for me, I connect with things through laughter.
Yes, me too.
And
I even laugh when I'm sad sometimes.
Yes.
I laugh when I'm sad.
I smile when I probably shouldn't. And it's just my way of dealing with stuff. And same goes to doing stuff like this. It's like I can laugh and be like, wow, look how far I've come.
Just being the best awkward human I can be.
God, and I am awkward.
It looks like you're welding.
My face right now is like, yeah.
I should take your picture. I'm going to take
Oh my god. Did I kill this one too?
I don't know.
What the hell?
It probably is out of fluid. That happens. You must look like you're enjoying this. There you go. Oh, that's a good one.
Is it good?
Yes. Let's see.
Oh yeah, we're posting that. You'll see.
I'm so glad that we're editing this.
I'm so glad we're recording this.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys, I know you probably already started listening, but if you want to pause this and go grab, it doesn't have to be
Grab a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Grab a piece of paper. Write down the things that do not serve you and you would like to let go of, unlink the ties. Write it down. Tear it up. I know people who bury it.
Yes, I do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I also use I take the ashes from this and then I bury it to be recycled. Yeah.
Bury that stuff. Let it go.
Did you already do all yours?
I did. No, So while you are burning away at your bay leaves over here, do you want to go ahead? Should we talk about maybe tarot?
Yes.
And what card we drew?
Yes. I haven't drawn one yet, but
I have a beautiful deck called The Good Tarot, and it's absolutely lovely. You can get it on Amazon. It is The Good Tarot. That's the name of it. And it takes a very positive spin on tarot reading, which I don't find tarot to be particularly negative, but it takes a really positive spin on tarot. And the card that I drew was love. So I take that and I interpret that as being love for the world, love for my family, love for what's coming up in my life, the beautiful things that are coming up in my life, love for you, Sarah, love for just all of the wonderful things that we're planning on doing.
We've got so much going on.
So, and add to that self-love. I really need to focus on loving myself, and I do.
Yeah.
That's my intention. But it's also love for every wonderful thing that I have been blessed with.
Even love for the darkness.
Yes.
That's what I always like to add too, not to put words in your mouth, but love the shadows too.
Yes.
And that's a big part of...
Love the lessons.
Love the lessons, love the shadows, love even the parts about yourself you don't love.
Yes.
Because it's still who you are.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, here she goes. It's going now. I think she's gone. Bye.
Yay! They're gone, folks. They're gone. Just with a little smoke and a little fire, and they are gone.
That's all it takes.
I do want to recommend this Good Tarot deck, though, because it is Colette Baron Reed. It is a 78 card deck. It is read as tarot, and it is a lovely, lovely deck. The art is fabulous on it. I prefer to use my Rider-Waite deck. That's what I use a lot. But for some reason, my energy was calling to this today, or this energy was calling to me. So I don't know whether it was just extra super positivity that needed to happen or what, but it really called to me today. So I did use it today.
All right. So I have not used tarot for a long time. Long time. Occasionally I will, but it's very hard for me to read myself. So
I think that's a challenge for everybody. It's a real challenge.
I'm very biased about what I want, so and that's usually what happens.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and so I brought 2 decks today, which I'll probably draw for both. They're the 2 decks that I use, and I actually keep them together because they like to be together. So one is the Wildwood Tarot, and this one's it's a little more pagan. It's a lot more pagan than the Rider-Waite deck, and I have a version of the Rider-Waite deck, which is one of my favorite decks.
I have a giant Rider-Waite deck that I love not just because it's the Rider-Waite, but also because of dramatic effect. They're gigantic. So you pull a card out and it's like bam! It's such a beautiful, everybody loves them. When I read tarot for others, they love it because it's got such a dramatic effect.
That's awesome. All right, so the Rider-Waite, I got 3 of Wands.
Ooh.
Trying to see, it's been so long, I'm trying to remember. So it's fire. I think it's all about picking opportunity and picking paths. That's the first thing that popped into my head. And like Lori said, it's all about intentions.
And that's what tarot is. And for those of you who are interested in tarot, tarot is mostly instinct. And I see one of the mistakes I see people make a lot, just to kind of talk a little bit about it. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, sorry.
But one of the mistakes I see people make is they depend so much on the book. that comes with the deck, or they get a book to go with it that interprets. The best way to start out with tarot is to look at the cards, look at each individual card, and really examine how it makes you feel. Journal it. Figure out what comes to you first. Is it the blue sky? Is it the robe that the person's wearing? Is it the weapon they're carrying? Is it their face? What comes to you? And I guarantee you, different things will come to you with different people.
Oh, very much.
So I think learning tarot as a natural act is a lot. It leaves you to be a lot more flexible than just learning. Okay, the Page of Wands means this.
It's exactly what it means. And I've definitely encountered a lot of people who are very rigid, and to me that is very limiting, and it puts somebody else's notion of what something means to the card.
Yes.
As well, which I think it's a good foundation.
It is, and to go through and to really just kind of analyze the way you see it.
Yeah.
Then go to the book and see what they say.
Like,
is quite a bit different than just depending on the book entirely. I have a lot of tarot books, and the first time when I first started learning tarot, that was the mistake I made. Was I stuck strictly to well, it's like anything else you learn. It goes from being cognitive to metacognitive.
Yeah, very much so.
Once you get comfortable with what you're seeing, then it'll become a lot easier for you to read for other people. So I'm sorry, I just went off on a tangent.
No, I'm glad you did.
Tarot, so.
You probably know a million times more about tarot than me. I've always just used it as using my intuition about myself, and when I have done readings for people, which I do not do too often, because of what we just talked about, a lot of people expect more. Like, I'm not a psychic. I don't claim to be. But to me, it's just a good way to gain some clarity and something that was already in your mind and something that you were already thinking about.
It's a focus. It's a path.
Yeah, it's a focus. And I know there's going to be witches who don't agree with us, which is fine.
Sure.
That's totally fine. It's just how we use it. So the other deck.
It's a tool of many.
Ooh. Oh, this is interesting. So to me, the Three of Wands, the first thing, the original deck I did, to me, it's this guy standing there with fire, with rods or wands. And there's a guy in the ground on his knees holding up a crown. And to me, the first thing I noticed was the guy standing holding the rods, almost being like, I worked really hard. I'm ready for my reward. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Like, maybe for me, it's like, we've worked really hard to get to sitting here today. And I'm kind of like, I think I'm ready to
it's time for the reward.
Yeah, I'm ready. And to
reap the benefits.
Yeah, and this guy has a very smug look on his face, but to me that kind of means just like have a little bit of ego right now to like know that I'm being successful. So that's interesting. And
if somebody else were reading this card, they might focus on the person in the purple holding up the crown. Yeah. It's really very individualized.
And then this other card, I know exactly what this is. This is all about my ADHD. So this is 4 vessels, which is 4 of cups. And it's a woman, and underneath it says boredom. I always laugh at this card because I actually get this card a lot. And the card looks very like the woman sitting there, like her boobs are kind of hanging out, but and there's water overflowing in
abundance.
Yeah, in 4 different pots. So it's almost like she's surrounded by all this abundant stuff, but she's just not looking. She's just not seeing it. And to me, this means don't put all your water in one cup. That's pretty much what I'm getting with this, is a few different things. Like, I tend to stretch myself really thin. So stick to these 4 vessels. Just stick to what you're doing now and don't try to...
There's not a 5th vessel. No, don't look for it.
No, it's kind of... Even though it says boredom, which is something that I struggle with, but... It's more like, don't look outside your life right now. Just focus on...
Be in your life. Be in your space.
Yeah, be in your space.
Stay in your space.
Stay in your lane. So I might, at sometimes, even the things I'm working on, feel frustrated and feel overwhelmed. And my brain automatically tries to go off. Look at these other shining opportunities. But no, I think this is what this is.
Squirrel!
Yeah, squirrel! No, I like this. This is good.
Yes.
She's a redhead. Cool.
Wow.
Do you want me to draw a card for you?
Sure.
Which deck?
The black deck.
I'll have you pick it out.
Okay.
ahead, Lori.
That's it. I'm on my steed, and somebody's with me on the steed.
Knight of Swords.
Yes.
She got. And there's 2 of us. Oh my God,
Yes.
I didn't see that. So there's 2 people on the Knight of Swords on this big old white horse, and we're just looking straight forward. That's
Moving
so cool.
forward, moving
forward.
ahead. So that means that I'm going to draw one for you then. Grab mine.
And right now, too, we have around us some of our new branding.
Yes.
Too, we brought along with us to give it some energy. We've been working.
We have been working, and we have so many wonderful things coming up in this new year that you are just going to be amazed and astounded by. And it's all for you and things that we really think you'll enjoy.
Yeah.
We're becoming an enterprise.
Yeah, hell yeah, we are. Okay, let's see. Oh.
I don't know what I'm thinking.
This. Ooh, chariot. Same thing as
Same.
yours. It's the same
That's
thing.
so weird. And you've got, now this one has 2 horses, a brown and a white horse. And so she's moving forward in a couple of different phases. And you know how we've talked about this about you, about that there's things that you want to be able to do that are outside of mindful witchery too? You're moving forward full steam ahead, babe.
Doing it.
Yes.
Going to school.
You're doing it.
Doing all the things.
You're doing all the things.
Yeah, and that's what was on my mind through all this too, is like, I'm not only doing mindful witchery, which is like now a foundation in my life, the other foundation right now is school and what I'm wanting to accomplish with that. And I think it's all going to kind of come back together in the end. Like my career, whatever happens with that, and psychology, and I got some plans. Hopefully. I won't know for a few years, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, how far I go. I'm excited.
Moving forward
Moving
is what
forward.
it's all about, apparently.
Yep.
Apparently, it's all about moving forward.
I was hoping one of the cards was just like, you're going to move now.
You know what card
Find your house.
as I was listening to you just now, I was thinking about, you know the card that I always hate to get for myself? The Hanged Man.
The Hanged Man.
Just hanging around waiting for something to happen. And I have this weird bias about the Hanged Man because I always feel like I never interpret it any differently. It's always the same thing to me. The Hanged Man is stagnation.
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason for
Staying
that
in one
because
place.
the Hanged Man is stagnation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think there's any other way to interpret him.
Yeah.
Other than that.
God, I can't stand
I
that
can't
card.
stand the Hanged Man.
No, I'm right there with you. Whenever I get it, I'm like, still?
Or when I draw it.
Still?
When I draw it for somebody, I'm like, oh, man. I hope your life's better than this.
Yeah.
And don't just hang around.
And that's the flip side, too. It's all about our perception of it, right? And for somebody else, it could be like, oh, yes. Like this is
Finally,
this card.
stability. Yeah.
Finally.
I've been moving around so much, I'm ready to hang out just for a while.
Yeah, but for us, we're just like,
Oh,
God, no.
No. Not a good card for COVID. Not a good card for COVID.
God. It feels good to bring these guys back out.
It really does. You know,
I'm actually going to sage them a little bit.
I love mine. I have so many decks of cards, and it's funny because I have so many decks of tarot. I have Cat Tarot. I have the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, which I have to show you before you leave my house today.
Oh, yeah, I need to see that.
I have all kinds of themed tarot, but when it comes to actually reading, I read from the Rider-Waite deck.
Yeah.
It just is, it's my jam.
It has a lot of energy attached to it already. Like
It is my jam.
It's the oldest. I forget when this, it wasn't like 14? I could be totally wrong. Don't quote me on that.
And we need to have Jessie Burge on here.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Yes, she is. She's the mother of
Cool
tarot.
chick. So there was one last thing I wanted to do. So one of the things I always do, especially when there's human energy, I wish to separate myself some or get rid of, even though I already wrote some down on the bay leaves. I think of the things that I no longer want and tie a knot and then burn the string.
Oh.
Or you can bury it or do whatever you want. Do you want to do that with me?
Sure.
To me, it's just like kind of closes the door officially.
Closes the door. Yes.
So this actually was string that I used at my wedding.
And she has a knife.
And I have a knife, my favorite knife. I got this knife. That's a big piece of string.
That's a big.
I can cut that in half.
I sort of say I don't have that much baggage there.
I do.
I don't come with that much baggage. There we go.
Here, do you want a shorter string?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll just separate the knots.
Okay, cool.
So for every knot is something or someone that I want to never see again in my life.
Or you can also do this with things you want, but in this situation, it's all about timing.
And there are people, and I know that we all can think of someone in our life that just makes us feel bad about ourselves or puts us in the shadows all the time and they're in the spotlight, or just someone who, even someone who drains your energy. I know people who are good people, really good people, but they're so weighted down with their own issues that they just drain you completely.
Yeah, and then, oh my God, I this is something I wanted to talk about in our last podcast, was all about, one of my least favorite words is something I'm going to talk about right now is vibration. I don't like that word, and I don't know why. I'm trying to think of a different word, but everything...
I don't like resonate in the same way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Buzzwords.
Everything has energy. We've talked about this before. This is what we believe. Humans have, even individual humans have different energy. They have different frequencies. They have different vibrations. Oh, I'm going to say it. But it's true. And you're going to connect with certain vibrations more than others.
Yes.
Oh my God, we're going to sit here whole damn... Roger's going to kill us.
Oh my God.
And it's okay. Oh my God. You're going to burn the apples? Close it.
Oh my God.
Oh, I wish I had a picture of that.
Well, goodbye to those ties that bind.
Bye.
They went away. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
okay.
Catch you in
No,
the
it's
house
okay.
on fire.
No, that was hilarious.
Roger's going to come in here and be like, what are you guys burning?
Sarah must be here. He's going to pull into the drive and be like, oh, Sarah must be here.
The fire department's here.
But so I was talking about frequency.
Vibrations.
Vibration, that everybody has their own. Right? And even your muscles, everything in you have energy. It's vibrating. And some people's energy as a collective vibrate higher and vibrate lower. And that doesn't mean that higher vibrational people are better or above them, or lower vibe people are below them, like everybody, or bad. Because I don't really like looking at things in good and bad. Everything's on a spectrum.
Yes.
It's a continuum. So there's certain people and there's certain things like fire and gonna burn down your house.
Yes.
And that you're just gonna connect with, and it's okay. And a lot of people try to meet people where they're at, which is good. But if somebody's has the vibration of being very Eeyore and very negative, a lot of people try to meet them there.
And if you go more than halfway with that, you put yourself into a situation where that's just not okay for you.
Yeah. So don't do it if you can't.
Right.
Some people can. It takes a lot of practice, especially people who work in mental health and stuff. You have to have really strong constitution to not get dragged down all the time.
I'm taking a picture for my insurance company.
Yep, here you go. This is what we were doing.
This is what we were doing when the incident happened.
So he's just like, why? Your house smells weird.
And at the same time, guys, we also have crystals around, and kind of speaking to the idea that you just said, Sarah, about vibration. Crystals have the ability to make higher or make lower your vibration. They come to you. Oh. I'm serious. My smoke alarm.
Oh my God, it's going to go off.
There's no one in here, though, so.
I wish I had a cover for this.
You want to open the back door?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So
we should have thought about that.
So my neighbors can smell everything that's going on in here.
Oh my God, your poor kids. We're going to find them if they're passed out.
There we go. Oh my, it's not like I've never burned anything in this house before. So I do think it, and I don't know how many of you are interested in crystals or have worked with crystals, but I know, with me, I work a lot with crystals, and there are certain crystals that raise and lower your vibration. Sarah's over here taking a smoke bath, a sage bath.
I have my hands over it. Trying to catch the
I know
smoke.
you need a cover. See how wonderful covers work.
I like that. Maybe I'll have Carson make me one.
There you go.
Oh my God.
So, there's all kinds of things in the process of this that we've used and talked about, and I think if we just kind of rewrap things and talk about, the idea of burning sage or burning cedar or Palo Santo, or lavender, or anything that catches your smell, catches your sniffer, is a great way to cleanse.
Yeah.
And to ward off any negative energy that might be in the room, in the house, on the property. I know outside my house, we used to have a big, huge bunch of trees and just vines and things. It was very just unappealing. And they went and came and took everything out. All the rocks, they dug up all the rocks and everything and put this really pretty mulch garden out here. And what I did was, before they put down the mulch, I went out and put crystals in the north, south, east, and west. And then I saged the whole area just to make it a really positive space. And I have to tell you, it is a much more positive space.
That's awesome.
But if you have a rose quartz for love, or obsidian for protection, or to make your psychic vibe a little higher, or if you have tourmaline for spiritual protection, or you have a red stone for power and love, or an amethyst for love, or green for good fortune, whatever color stone resonates with you, you can use those in your Samhain ceremony as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about crystals later.
Yeah.
We have a whole episode coming up about crystals.
Yeah, and I'll probably just shut my mouth with that one, just let you talk, because I've said before I don't really use crystals. I have a little one here today,
and that resonates with you.
For some reason, this one, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's half quartz, half amethyst.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love it. And I don't know if I feel the vibes, but I do kind of, because
Something
it reminds
about it.
me of somebody.
Something about it clicks with you.
Yeah, there's something about it. I think I love the color. It's good. I love it. And for other people, I use the things I use, other people probably don't.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of writing and burning.
Yep.
This is what I do all the time. Yeah, and this is just very special to do with you, and I'm just I'm
so thrilled that we did this together.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And then there are people who use essential oils in their Samhain
Yes.
ceremonies.
Oh
So
my
there's
God,
so
totally.
many things. There are people who use food.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you have all these apples.
Yeah, it's just perfect, huh?
Yeah, and actually something that I do to close out
Mm-hmm.
unless you have anything else to talk about.
No.
Too, is I give thanks to the people who came after me. Actually, Lori and I were supposed to go to the graveyard today, but I don't know if you can hear.
It's pouring.
But it is downpouring, so we're going to do it another time.
Yes.
But it's just giving thanks to the people who have come before you, even past friends, past family, just giving thanks for all your experiences and
all that they've given you.
All they've given you. And I always thank my grandmother. That's the one.
So a thank you to my father,
Yeah.
who is probably the most influential person who has ever been in my life. And thank you to him for being my dad. I miss him every day. So be sure, guys, when you're out there and you're celebrating Samhain, just to thank the people who came before you. Thank your ancestors for giving you life, for giving you the personality that you have, for the beliefs that you have, and for guiding you.
Yeah.
And
Good and bad.
I think that's a great way to end it.
I think that's a great way to end it.
Happy Samhain, our fine friends.
Happy Samhain, guys. Thanks for joining us. And we will catch you on the next episode.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.